feel a little like Andy Rooney sitting at a desk covered with a whole bunch of crap. The psychiatrist has announced that he's going out of town for a blissful 18 days. Now, I have a lot of work backed up for the psychiatrist. A lot of work. I'm almost embarrassed to show you how much. This is the psychiatrist's work. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 envelopes, and many of them, fortunately not all of them, many of them have more than one tape in them. The oldest one is from May 4th, so that's, and this is July what? July 21st, so that tells you how far backed up I am. So, my plan in the next 18 days is to do a monumental marathon transcription, whatever. However, I decided that before I can really get started, I've got to do something with all this crap. I mean, I'm incapable of keeping a desk neat. I have tried. I get this, I don't remember when the last time was that I worked on this, but I just kind of start stacking stuff. And my way of getting rid of things is to move it from this pile to that pile. So I'm going to try to really get into some of this stuff today. And I thought I'd look through and see if there's anything worth mentioning here. I've got a whole bunch of CDs sitting balanced precariously on that edge of the table. Now, I always do this. I put them on that edge of the table. There is about that much space between my desk and my bookcase, and that much space is somewhat less wide than I am. So it seems like 90% of the time, every time I walk through the office, I knock this stack on the floor. I say a few expletives, I stack them up again, and I put them right back there. I've been doing this for months. Underneath the stack of CDs is an invitation to a party that we went to in May. I think I can probably throw that away. Look, I've already cleaned something up with my desk. Isn't that exciting? Here's the instructions to the video camera. Notice how I'm just stacking them up. I'll have everything all neatly stacked by the time I finish this. Empty CD envelope. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in there, so I'll stack it over here. Something from Kaiser. A recipe. I've got a whole bunch of recipes that have to move out to a recipe book right there. I've gone away from using regular cookbooks, and I now just go onto the Food Network and I put in the food that I want to cook and I print out a recipe. Then I stack the recipes over here, and then I eventually put them in a binder that's out in the kitchen, and I probably won't look at them again. Okay, so here we have photos of a trip I took with my mother a bazillion years ago. I think I used these for scanning for a journal entry one time. And here we have an ink cartridge. I'm going to need that, but I don't need to keep the whole thing there on my desk. I can put it here where I keep ink cartridges, an actual place for it. Barnyard Theater. I have to type a review about the show. I went there last night. Last night we went out to the Barnyard Theater, and I reviewed a new show, a brand new show called A Flag Touched the Ground. The Barnyard Theater is an outside theater. It's a really cool, well, cool in the terms of it's really interesting place. But yesterday it was 102. And even though the sun had gone down, it was so uncomfortable. I didn't really like the play, and the building was stifling. And I just prayed for the end of my misery. Now I have to try to make a review out of it. Here is Every Day with Rachael Ray, my new subscription. I got really upset with these people because one of the things that they have in here, this is the very first issue that I've gotten, and one of the very first things I came across in here, if I can find it, they have a recipe, they have a place where they talk about the menu, the daily menu of a star. And the star is 14-year-old Spencer Breslin. This is what Spencer Breslin ate that Rachel magazine felt that it was worth publishing. For breakfast, this 14-year-old has 1 cup of Kenyan coffee with cream and sugar, period. For lunch, he had a sloppy Joe and a Diet Pepsi. For dinner, he had a cheeseburger with lettuce and tomato, presumably the lettuce and tomato were healthy, a hot dog, a handful of Lay's potato chips, and a Diet Pepsi. And for a late night snack, he had chocolate cake. This is what they're publishing about something that a star that presumably little kids emulate is eating. If I'm not going to put it here on the top of the stack, I've got to put it somewhere on the bottom of the stack. You know, it's going to take me forever to find the top of this desk, and the tape isn't going to be that long. So I'm going to work away on this thing and see what I can do. I come across this crap and I can't throw it away. Here's a book, by the way. Let me recommend this to everybody. It's a book called Words That Sell. If you ever have to write anything about anything, if you have to publicize anything, if you're like me and you have to write reviews, this is the most wonderful book. You take a word like distinguished, look at distinguished, and it's not a thesaurus, it just gives you great words that you can use instead of using distinguished all the time, like esteemed, respected, prestigious, accomplished, celebrated, eminent, illustrious, outstanding. It's great. I use it all the time. As a matter of fact, I had a copy of it that's probably buried somewhere here, and I don't know where it is. And I ended up buying a second copy because I missed it so much I couldn't find it. Anyway, I'm going to continue on with this daunting task. And maybe if I actually get it done, I'll show at the end of this, I will show what the top of the table looks like. More than likely, I won't get to it.